Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, good morning to you. It is 9:07 a.m. on a quite a dreary day here in Northern Illinois. So, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've been watching for a long time, I appreciate the viewership. So, for today's video, I wanted to discuss if you are new to purchasing a Tesla. Here's a handful of tips, advice, I guess you'd say, that I can give you. These are sort of never leave home without these mindset, or without these items in your head. So probably first and foremost, I would say make absolutely sure you never leave home without your RFID card. So Tesla gives this card. It has instructions on the back on how to use it. For those purchasing a Tesla that does not use a key fob, and that would be the Model 3 and the Model Y, you don't get a key fob. You use the app on your phone to get into your car. As you approach the car senses your proximity via Bluetooth and will unlock the car. And if you don't have your car, or if you don't have your phone, or if you are leaving your car at I don't know, valet parking or something, or you want to lend somebody your car, or for some reason your phone dies, they give you an RFID card. I actually got 2 of these, and if you lose one, they're like 10 bucks or something from Tesla. They're not expensive, but each car has its own specific RFID card. What you do with this card is, if you don't have your phone with the app, you touch this to the B pillar. In fact, it shows little instructions on the back there. You touch the card to the B pillar and it unlocks, and then you lay it here just behind the cup holders, and that will activate the car for you. And the reason you never ever want to forget that is because if you approach the car with your cell phone and you don't have your RFID card, there are times when the car won't recognize your cell phone. It happens to me, not all the time or anything, but occasionally it happens to me. I'm in my car 160 miles a day, and I would say once every 3 days or so, I walk up to the car with my cell phone in my pocket, and it doesn't recognize it. A thing comes up on the screen that says, use your card to get in. And so if you don't bring your RFID card with you, you're going to find yourself locked out of your car at some stage. Now, oftentimes you can just restart your phone or turn off Bluetooth and turn it back on, and that may activate your car again. But just for ease and just to make absolutely sure, because, I mean, what if you lose your cell phone, it gets stolen, you drop it and break it and it doesn't work? Always have your RFID card with you. So, all right, I've beat that subject to death. So some more advice for you. Don't treat your Tesla like your gas car. What I mean by that is, you don't want to just charge it up to 100% and drive it a little each day until it's down near 0 and then charge it to 100% again. That's what you do with a gas car with a gas tank. You would fill it all the way up and you drive a little each day until, whatever it is, a few days later, a couple of weeks later, however long it takes you to run low on gas, then you gas it up. You don't want to do that with an electric car. I mean, you can do it. The car will function that way. But there's a couple reasons why you want to avoid doing that. The main reason is it's not as easy to fill up an electric car as it is a gas car. So if you start running the car down low on charge, let's say you get up in the morning and you have 10% charge, 300 or 30 or so miles on my car, 32 miles or whatever 10% charge would be, and you suddenly realize you need to drive like 80 miles or 100 miles that day. Well, you're at 80%. So now it's going to take you several hours to bring the car up far enough on charge to drive the 80 miles you have to drive. Or you have to make sure that you're close enough to a supercharging station, drive there and charge it up first. Much less convenient than just being able to gas up a car. There are some conveniences that gas cars have that EVs don't. So to avoid that from being an issue, just make sure that you plug your car in each night, or maybe every other night. Don't go below maybe half charge. Maybe that's a wise thing. You get home, and if you're under half charge, plug it in. Now, what I typically do is I set my charge state of charge my charge limit for 80%. The reason I do that is it's easier on the battery to avoid the very top of the charge and the very bottom of the charge. I don't want to get too deep into this. I've done videos on this in the past, but for beginners that have never learned this before, you're not going to harm the battery if you charge it all the way up to 100%. But it's easier on the battery if you stop at 80 or 90% just daily. And in fact, Tesla teaches you this. Tesla teaches you that it is for day-to-day use, stay at like 90%, you know, charge up to 90% or maybe less. Since I never need more than 60% in a day, I charge to 80% every morning, and then I go about my day. If I know I'm going to drive out of state or something and I need more range, then I charge all the way up. So what you want to do is set your charge point for 80%, and every day or maybe every other day when you get home, plug it in, let it charge overnight to keep that state of charge between, well, above half, to make sure you've got a buffer there so you've got enough miles to do anything you need to do, just because it takes longer to charge than gas up. But again, you don't necessarily want to charge all the way to 100% daily. So that's another piece of advice for you. Item number 3, take full advantage of the phone app. So in the app, you can open it up and you can go into, say, climate. This is something that that I use all the time. So the climate button. So you can use the climate. You can adjust your charge point. In fact, if you look there, it says trip and daily. Trip and daily. That is to advise you to only use the top part of the charge for trips, like I just said, but get comfortable using the app. I like going into the climate tab before I leave in the morning. You just hit climate, and then you can go up to whatever temperature you want it to be at and set your phone down, and the car will be nice and warm for you, or in the summer it will be cooled down for you. And if it's plugged into the wall outlet at the time, you're not going to affect your range. You're going to use power from the house to heat up or warm or cool down the car, whatever you want to choose. So get used to using the app. It's a wonderful thing. Next piece of advice for you, be ready to answer a lot of questions. Unless you live in California where Teslas are absolutely everywhere, that's kind of a unique little nucleus in the world where Teslas just are very prolific. Unless you live there, you're going to get questions about your car. It's just going to happen. Be ready for that. Be ready for that, and be cheerful. Always be ready to talk to people that want to ask you questions about, well, and it's not just the car. I feel this way about any technology. People ask me about my cell phone, or they ask me, oh goodness, about my family or my job, or whatever it is. I like to be able to be ready to answer people when they ask, and to be cheerful about it, because you will get questions about owning the car. Also, another piece of advice, just learn to trust the car. Learn to trust the car. I say that because when I first my first electrified car was a hybrid, a Ford C-Max hybrid. It was not a plug-in hybrid, just a standard gas-only hybrid, but the engine only ran about 40% of the time, something like that. 60% of the time the engine was off and it was in EV mode. And I kind of worried about it. Oh, is the battery going to survive? Is the inverter going to live? Is it, though I was familiar with electric propulsion, I had never had an electric car or a hybrid before this. And so I almost didn't trust it. And then when I got my Tesla, I thought, oh gosh, I know gas engines, I understand them. If they make an odd noise or whatever, is the battery going to last in this car? What about cold weather driving? Just trust the car. Just get in the car and use it. Don't stress out over things. And I've done videos, teaching people, oh, pay attention to your state of charge, and like I mentioned before, use the phone app to preheat or pre-cool the car and all that. But don't worry about it. If you don't want to use the app to precondition the car or whatever, just drive it. Just drive it. Don't really worry about it. It's different than a gas car in that you can't go down to the gas station and gas it up. You need to charge it at home overnight or find a charging station, and it takes longer than gassing up. But aside from that, it's the same experience as driving a gas car. Now, it's a far better experience. It's more refined. But just get in the car and use it. Don't freak out about, oh, it's this new high-tech thing. Learn to trust it. My car currently has 74,082 miles on it. It's never left me stranded. Had a couple computer glitches in it. I was making an odd noise one time, but those were simple things to correct, and it never left me stranded. Another piece of advice, I highly recommend using the hidden features in the car. So for instance, when you park the car, I'm driving now so it's not going to show up, but when you park the car and you hit the climate tab, there will be little options that will come up at this portion of the screen, and one of those options says keep climate on. What that does is it'll keep the climate control set at the current setting, so that if you're going into a store, or I go swimming at the YMCA, I'll turn that on. I'll go swimming for 45 minutes, so I'm out of the car for an hour, and it'll keep the climate warm and just use a few percent of my charge. It's not like 3% or something. It's not a big deal. Or gosh, not even that. Oh, I don't know, maybe 1%, 2%. I mean, it only uses a tiny bit of your charge, not even noticeable, to keep the climate on when you step out of the car. Wonderful feature. Make sure you dive into all of the features that the car has and use them. Use them. By all means, use those features. The car came with them for a reason, and I know people that get high-tech cars and they won't delve into. Just read the manual. I mean, read it thoroughly. We always, every car we buy, we read the owner's manual completely. I want to know everything there is to know about that car. But Teslas are different than gas cars in certain ways. Also, going back to don't be afraid of the car and just trust it. Tesla software is very, very intuitive. Very intuitive. So just dive in, you know, start tapping on icons and you know, check things out and see what the settings do. Make changes to the settings and go drive the car and try it out. You know, people, oh, I don't want to mess anything up. It is amazing to me how tentative people tend to be that get a Tesla for the first time and they're kind of nervous to use it. But by all means, dive into the settings. Another piece of advice that I would give is join a couple of online forums. You're watching this video, so you're obviously on YouTube and curious about the car, but also join a couple of discussion forums. My wife and I, every unique car that we've had, we've joined a discussion forum related to that car. And I've already joined a discussion forum for the Mini Cooper electric that we have on order and have begun posting there. Mainly because discussion forums, you can ask questions and get responses from other owners. You get connected with the community. So by all means, join a discussion forum. There are a number of them online. And, you know, go on there, introduce yourself, you know, share a picture of your car, ask questions, share your own personal experiences with the car. It really increases the ownership experience of having a Tesla. Another piece of advice that I would give, if you like data points at all, then I would suggest keep track of your electric bill, and also go back and look at what you were spending in gas on your previous car, and then pay attention to your electric bill, and compare the difference in cost between operating your Tesla and the gas car that you were driving previously. I say this because Tesla cars tend to be a little on the expensive side, and especially compared to just, you know, your basic grocery getter that most people are used to. And so it's easy to get lost in the, oh my goodness, my payment is high. Like this car, my payment is $700, it's almost $800 a month. And that's for a 6-year loan after I put $10,000 down. It's not a cheap car to own. But in my situation, I drive in excess of 40,000 miles a year. So the gas savings alone is several $100s a month. So a good, massive portion of my payment is offset in gas savings. Now, it costs me about, I think it saves me, I have to do the math again, gas prices fluctuate and that, but I think it saves me about $450, $500 a month in gas, and then costs me about $80 a month to charge. So it's maybe roughly $400 per month it saves me owning this car, and I have a car payment that's just shy of $800. So this car essentially costs me about $400 a month to own and operate. And that's cheaper than had I bought a brand new Camry with similar features. So pay attention to these things. Now, most people aren't going to save what I do, but it is kind of fun to look at your budget and just monitor it, because it's easy to get lost in the, oh my goodness, I have such a, this is the more expensive car than I'm used to, or whatever. So that's another piece of advice I would give you. Also, another piece of advice is, most people that purchase Teslas become sort of fanboys for the cause. I'm one of them. I've got my YouTube channel because I love this car. But be a little bit careful on being too excited. And what I mean by that is, I know a number of people that are involved in network marketing businesses and that, and it seems like you can't spend any time with them without them hammering you with stuff about that network marketing. Whatever it is. I hate to pick on any one company, but whatever. There's Mary Kay Cosmetics or Amway products or whatever. People, Amway this, Amway that, Mary Kay, Mary Kay, Mary Kay. Good grief. I'm just here to watch the game, or we're hanging out for a meal. I don't need to hear about Mary Kay or Amway or, whatever. And it gets a little bit old when people are just addicted to a certain product and won't drop it. So be careful of that. It's exciting to get a new car. It's especially exciting to get something that's so groundbreaking like a Tesla, but be a little bit leery of being too overly excited. The way I like to look at it is, when people ask, again, I go back to what I talked about earlier. Be ready to give an explanation of the car, but don't necessarily hammer people with it. So my wife and I will go to someone's house, and if we drive the Tesla, we get there, almost universally somebody will ask, if there's a gathering of people, oh hey, you have a Tesla? Or if everybody knows I have a Tesla, they will ask about it. I mean, in my area, though Teslas are common, it's still, I might be the only person they know personally that owns one. So they'll ask, how's the Tesla been? 74,000 miles so far. A couple of the software glitches, whatever. I've worn out tires, but it's a great car. I basically add washer fluid to it. That's it, And I kind of leave it at that. And they'll ask, so what's your range like in the winter? Well, in the summer, it's, 300 miles. In the winter, probably more like, 260. Oh, okay, so it goes back up again in the summer. Yeah, it goes back up again in the summer. Oh, okay. They'll ask, and I am happy to answer the questions. And I might elaborate further, but by all means, let people ask you. Because if you just go into a gathering and people are saying, oh, how you doing? How have you been? Oh, fine. Did I tell you about my car? I love my car this, my car that. People will it gets a little old. It gets a little old people hearing from you all the time. But it is easy to be excited about it. Be ready to answer and use that as your launching off point to share with people, but don't constantly offer information unless they ask. So I could probably give a whole bunch more pieces of advice, but this video has already run a little bit long. So maybe I'll do a part 2 if you guys want more pieces of advice, but that's it for me for today. I would say that it's been quite the life-changing experience owning this car. We have another EV, a smart electric drive for my teenage son to use, and as I mentioned before, we ordered a Mini Cooper electric. We're excited to get that. I'm very excited to have 3 drivers in the house and 3 EVs. So it's great stuff. We're looking to go solar as well. We just need to decide, make sure we're going to be in the house that we're in now long enough to justify the savings versus the purchase cost over a duration of time, but we're probably going to pull the trigger on that this year. So that's it for me for today. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys, I really do. Consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. I've got a bunch of technical videos coming up here soon. I'm going to do a video on my take on the coronavirus. I do in-home appliance repair, and so I'm in people's homes regularly, and what are my thoughts on that. So, but because of the virus, work is a little bit slow for me, and therefore I'll have more time to shoot videos, edit them, and upload them. So, got some stuff coming up about the adjustable Model 3 screen mount kits as well, so keep your eye on the channel for that. So anyway, if you have a screen mount kit ordered, I'm shipping almost daily at this point. We got so many orders because of the sale last month. It was just insane. So I'm shipping out. I got a box full of orders in the back seat that are shipping today. This afternoon, I'm going to box up another box of orders, and oh my gosh, it's getting crazy. If you have a screen mount kit ordered, all pending orders will ship within probably the next week and a half or so. pending orders as of today, but more orders keep coming in daily, so be patient. We're keeping up with it the best we can. So anyway, I think that's it for me for today. Thank you all very much for watching, and as always, stay charged. Bye-bye now.